Hi guys, welcome back. Today on Not a Nail Tech, I'm going to try and create a nail inspired by this Opalite gemstone. So Opalite's not actually like a proper gemstone, it's man-made, but it's cute and it looks like a gemstone, so we're going with it as part of our gemstone series. So as you can see, it did have some little undertones of blues and yellows, so I'm using some of our jelly colours. I've started with blue raspberry and then gone in with starfruit around that, and I'm just going to blend them together just a little bit. They don't need to be perfectly blended and ombreed or anything like that, just so you've got those tones underneath. And this nail's going to be all about layering just to get the tones I want out of the different colours and just make sure it's glowy and chromy and just cute. So I'm just blending these out just so they're not too colourful as well. Just going in with a second coat of this because they are jelly colours, so they're very, very see-through, and just doubling up again. And I'm just going in and blending that all back out again. Once that's all cured, I'm using Snow White, and I'm just going to mix that with some base coat, and this is just so we get a milky white to put over those colours. And as you can see, it just puts that nice hazy layer over so the colours aren't too bright. And once I'm happy with that, I'm going to pop it into cure, and then just going in with the second layer as well because I wanted a little bit more of that white to show. And it just dulls down those colours underneath again. Next, I'm using Snow White, and I'm just using a sponge and dabbing this onto the top of the nail, and this is just because that gemstone, the opalite, it has some patches that are more colourful and less colourful, and I thought if I go in with this white, it'll kind of create that effect. So I will be adding chrome on top of all of this, so it will kind of blend all of those bits together and kind of unify it all, because it looks a little bit of a mess at this moment. It's definitely a trust the process nail. So I'm using crystal clear acrylic powder and just pouring that over the top, and this means when I go back in with the sponge and some more Snow White, it will stick a lot better because it's not really got anything to really stick to at this point because there's no texture. Once that's cured and dusted off, I'm just going back in with that Snow White on that sponge again and just going back over those areas and blending them out. I've left that uncured and just going in with some top coat and just going around where I haven't put the white, and this just means that that crystal clear acrylic powder has more to stick to as well. Otherwise I might have some raised sections on the nail that I didn't want. I just want the whole nail to be a little bit sticky. I'm going to pop that into cure and then just go in with a final layer of that white sponged on and cure that again. And then I'm taking some gel top coat nail sealer. This is great because it evens out any of that texture that the acrylic powder's left, because you really want this nail to be really, really smooth. You don't want any texture because we're going to be going in with some chrome as well. Pop that into cure, and then I'm just going in and buffing that all down just because I did see there was a little bit of texture and I want this nail super, super smooth. So I just want to make sure that the whole nail is smooth and even. Don't want any dots in there, don't want any ridges. And then just going in with some top coat, and this is just for our chrome to stick to. So I'm going to pop this on and then stick it in the lamp to cure. Next, I'm taking one of our Topaz Chrome Pigments. This is like an iridescent pigment. It's quite see-through, it's not opaque. It's great if you want that kind of just iridescent glow on top of what you've already done. So I'm just buffing that into the top coat, making sure it's buffed in really, really well. And as you can see, it kind of brings the colours back to life a little bit, blends it all together, and just gives it like a real glow as well. Once that's all buffed in, I'm just dusting off any of that excess chrome because you don't want any of that in the top coat, and just adding a layer of top coat on that, but I'm just going to do 2 layers of top coat because when you're using chrome it might rub off if you don't have a really good layer sealing it in, so I always try and do 2 good layers of top coat on top of chrome. And once that's cured, we have the final nail, and I think you don't really get the full effect until you see them as a full set. So I maybe should have gone in with more blues and the yellows, but from different angles you can see the different colours, but you can kind of see the effect that I'm going with here. It gives the same kind of vibe. And I'm going to show you how it looks as a full set. I think they've turned out really cute. I've added more blues into some of them. Anyway, if you like this video, give us a comment and a like, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye!